I have so much respect for Pawan Singh for coming and saying sorry to me. It was such a graceful exit. He did not want to hold that back.
Absolutely.
And it also shows from the life that he's lived.
Yeah.
He's lived a very big life. What should I have done? Should I have started crying? At that time when Bali was like saying all those things to me, because that's the easiest thing to do. Start bawling and taswe bahana shuru kar do aur bolo are mere saath aise kaise bol diya. It's the easiest. I did not want to take the easy route. And I'm not somebody who's like a Miss Universe or a Mother Teresa. I'm neither of these two people. I am myself. I am my own person.
She's always talking about her divorce, her separation, what happened. She's made some allegations. All of that is now coming out, and she is being labeled as somebody who's fake. You've lived with her inside the house. You have had this incident with her. What is your point of view?
I was disinterested. I am not interested in your personal life. I also come from a space where, as a woman, I feel that maybe this person wants to move on from this conversation and wants to start a new chapter of their lives.
Well, it's often said that real people do not really survive on a reality show, and it has been proven once again because Aahana Kumra is out of Rise and Fall, and she joins me today only on FPJ Showbiz. Aahana, it's very disappointing to see you here because I really didn't feel आपसे बहुत ज़्यादा. Firstly, you were not weak. You were one of the strongest contestants. You put forward your point. But I feel there are so many weak contestants inside the house. Even today, how are you sitting here?
Because I didn't give them enough fodder to fight for and to fight with, because that's not who I am. And I think I've been, I've lived a very fulfilled life, and I've lived a very fulfilled career, where I have seen a lot of phases in my life, where I've seen a lot of downfalls. I've seen a lot of rise and fall in my life, And for me, honestly, I was very misunderstood on the show. I think I'm not somebody who really easily opens up to new people very easily. And so I feel what happened right in the beginning is that people had already formed an opinion about me. There was already a campaign against me in the first week of the show. And I was, for the life of me, I think, didn't understand what was happening. I think, first of all, it took me really long to understand why people are so hateful towards each other. And why are people being so hateful towards me? Because I honestly had no personal spat with anybody. I think I'd only had one fight with Bali.
Yeah.
And, and he had said certain things, I had said certain things, which I think both of us crossed a line with each other. And honestly, it was not required to stretch the matter so much, but it got stretched because after that fight, I clearly saw there was a division, where I was just being made to sit alone, and everybody was sitting in one corner, and everybody was having this panchayat, and they would like keep looking at me and keep talking about me, and I would be like, what are they doing? Why are they talking to me like this? Why can't somebody just come and talk to me and tell me what's the problem? So I realized that all that was happening. Of course, there were times when, every time like something happened with me, I stood up for myself.
Yeah.
So I don't think I ever told ki, I would not like start giving a sob story. I would not start like telling people things like, stand up for me or, whatever, because I know that a lot of people said that, oh, otherwise so she becomes such a feminist. But I don't think I ever asked anybody to stand up for me. Yeah. I never had anybody supporting me, backing me. And there were thrice I think I was put in a situation where, I had to stand up for myself, and I did. And I think by the second week onwards, when I started becoming a little more comfortable with the format, I think the makers were just like, okay, she's not fighting enough, or she's not like, creating enough kalesh, so let's kind of ease her out. But that's what I kind of gauged that, because that's when I actually started enjoying the show, because I was in the basement and I was watching people and going like, oh, okay, so this person is actually like this, but this person is actually trying to be this person, and this person is actually scared of this person. Yeah. And by the end of the second week, I was like, I'm not afraid to say anything to any of them, because so much has been said about me, and I've been misconstrued in so many possible ways. I don't have to sugarcoat my words with you. I just have to come and say if I feel a certain thing, and if I genuinely feel something for you, I'll come and tell you. Yeah. So I think that's where I was. And I feel like the eviction happened too early with me, because there are many contestants who are, यहाँ पर भी अच्छा दिखा रहे हैं, यहाँ पर भी अच्छा दिखा रहे हैं, but I don't think any of them really have the guts to stand up for themselves. They'll just, sugarcoat things and then bitch about each other in the video diaries, because that's what I've heard. I've not watched the show. Yeah. So I know that they are bitching about each other in the video diary, but they don't have the audacity to go and speak to somebody and say, ki, hey, listen, I think this is a problem. Because I think when I got the opportunity to speak to a couple of them, I went and cleared out a lot of things.
Yeah.
You know, and if I don't have any personal grudges towards anybody, why will I have an issue? And I think they started taking my feedback quite nicely. So I was quite happy with like at least the two of them who took my feedback, three of them who took my feedback quite nicely. And, you know, and that was it for me.
Do you feel the elimination round was very unfair because you were not voted out through the audience, you were voted out through the rulers, and everybody, I think the first name was yours. Everybody
Of course, it took them a second to vote me out. In fact, if in the second week they again had the opportunity to vote me out.
Yes.
So I feel like, yeah, the eliminations were unfair because I feel that if they had, you know, had the nominations after Arbaz came down, because cleverly what they did was they nominated us twice in the same week. So we were actually nominated 2 times in the same week. And it was exactly the same people who were nominated. So what is your nomination different from the last week? Because it's exactly the same people who are standing in the nominations. And earlier you have like, you know, I have been saved because of a certain bag. But in the third week, you know, because the public voting went out, and in the public voting I didn't get saved. And I knew for sure, I knew it like, me and Arjun had this conversation like 3 days before my elimination that I'm going. So I was like, I'm leaving now. So I know that, like, it's my time on the show's over. So it was very clear that if I'm given in the hands of the rulers, I will definitely be nominated out, which I thought I was quite mentally prepared for that.
You know, when your fight with Bali happened, a lot of personal attacks were made on you, which were really triggering for people who were rooting for you outside, or even not rooting for you, even watching you. It was really triggering because he made personal remarks like, you know, age shaming somebody, saying shadi karo and all of that. That was very below the belt, and I felt like if somebody honestly was there आपके जगह पे, वो तो शायद बहुत ही ज़्यादा उनको सुना देता उस point पे. But I don't know, you maintained you also said a few things and then you just kept quiet and you started looking सामने. How did you manage to do that? Because how did you not feel so angry to, you know, maybe just slap him because what he said was really wrong?
And what would be the difference between me and Arbaz?
Yeah.
What would be the difference? Please understand, where do I come from? I come from like an experience in the industry for almost, say, a decade. A decade long. You think I have not developed a thick skin? When I'm being told you're not fit for a role, when I'm told that, you know, okay, this person is this one's choice because this person is this one's friend, or, you know, there's a certain person who is coming and replacing you. How many times have I been replaced in films? How many times have I been replaced in a series? Because a phone call has been made. You think I have not developed a thick skin? And what should I have done? Should I have started crying?
No.
At that time when Bali was like saying all those things to me, because that's the easiest thing to do. Start bawling and taswe bahana shuru kar do aur bolo, are mere saath aise kaise bol diya. It's the easiest. I did not want to take the easy route. And I'm not somebody who's like a Miss Universe or a Mother Teresa. I'm neither of these two people. I am myself. I am my own person. I have lived a career where I have been told so many things on my face, where I don't think that person's opinion should matter to me, because if that person's opinion starts mattering to me, then how will I live the rest of my life? How? You as a journalist, if you're told every single day that you're a trashy journalist, will you believe that?
No.
So if somebody is telling me that I am a certain person, will I believe that?
Absolutely not.
So that's what I believed. And that's what I said to myself, that whatever this person is saying, I don't believe a word this person says. Because I met this person like a week ago, or maybe 3 days ago. I don't know this person. This person's opinion does not matter to me. It does not matter to my life. It does not define who I am. I am not going to live by the definition of somebody who does not matter to me. And for me, and I maintain this, every single one of those 15 people on that show, their opinions do not matter to me, my life, my career, my professional growth, or my personal growth. By calling me something, I do not become that person.
That is true, of course.
If somebody calls me pagal, if somebody calls me fake, if somebody calls me a liar, or if somebody calls me anything, it does not make me that person, because I believe I'm not that person. What matters in this world is what you believe. We're living in Kalyug.
True.
Nobody's going to be nice to you. Nobody. We're living in a space and time of our lives where everybody's jealous of you. Everybody hates you. Everybody wants to bring you down. And if you start believing that everybody, then you will never believe yourself. So I believe myself so much that I don't think a reality show can define me. I don't think 15 people's opinions can define me. I don't think anything said about me can be believed by me. And what matters is what I believe.
Wow.
So that's where I was. And I didn't want to engage, honestly.
Yeah,
because it would have just led to, because you work so hard on yourself for so many years. I've started meditating, I've started working on my temper, which was horrible a few years ago, and I've started meditating, I've started believing in certain things about myself where I'm like, I'm going to there's so much noise, I know how to shut the noise. And after a point, it just becomes a vacuum. So I'm just looking at a person screaming, but I cannot hear that person. And I'm like, if I have to really engage with this person, then what is the point of working so hard on myself?
Wow, it takes a huge deal of maturity to reach where you are.
I have reached that stage and age and that phase of my life.
Yeah, that's why maybe we were feeling, no, she should say more, but you explained it wonderfully.
No, because I'm not a reality TV star, and that's not my ambition. My ambition is to be able to become the better version of myself and to be able to be the best version of myself every single day. And as I said, what they say about me cannot be believed by me.
True. But, an incident happened with Dhanashree where you, after that, went and Dil se you said sorry and you said that you guys hugged it out.
Yeah.
And cut to, after that scene in the video, we see that she's calling you pagal and she said, aaj to prove ho gaya, wo hai hi aisi. So I don't have an issue with her opinion. I only feel that if that was truly her opinion, why did she hug you and say it's okay? Then she should have just, fought with you then and there that, no, Aahana, I do not accept your sorry. So I saw the duality, the hypocrisy, and a lot of people outside are noticing the same thing about Dhanashree. When she entered, she said, मेरे माँ बाप ने मुझे upbringing में ये नहीं सिखाया कि आप किसी के बारे में बात करो. But cut to cut, she's always talking about her divorce, her separation, what happened. She's made some allegations. All of that is now coming out and she is being labeled as somebody who's fake. You've lived with her inside the house. You have had this incident with her. What is your point of view?
First and foremost, knowing somebody for a week does not mean that you know that person. I don't know her. I have absolutely no idea who she is. I only know her because of her marriage. I didn't know who she was actually. I, in the first week of knowing her, never once spoke about her marriage. Not once. I was disinterested. I am not interested in your personal life. I also come from a space where, as a woman, I feel that maybe this person wants to move on from this conversation and, wants to start a new chapter of their lives. So I never once, I think, in the entire first week, because I think a lot of people have seen the first week of the episodes, where I have spoken about her life at all. Zero. I have had no idea. In fact, I think because she kept mentioning it and I didn't want to talk about it. I was just like, I don't want to talk about it. And I don't think I labeled her anything. I've never labeled her at all in the show. I've not labeled most people in the show. And I think I've been labeled by many people. So honestly, that's not on me. That's on them. Secondly, when I went up to the penthouse to say sorry after all that fiasco, which was also not my fault, quite honestly. Because if I've said anything and if I've labeled somebody, it's all out in the camera. It'll all be out in the episodes and, they should watch it for themselves and gauge whatever they want to, because their opinions, as I said, does not matter to my life. So when I went and said sorry to her, the first thing I should have expected her is that if she wants to talk about something, she should talk about it and clear it out right there. Because I knew after that there's going to be eliminations and I'm going to be nominated and I'm going to be out. So I was not out there trying to, get in her good books. I think I was just trying to sort something out. Because I did sort something out with Bali. I did sort something out with Arush. I did sort something out with Arbaz. Because something I said about Arbaz and he did not like. And he told me, Aahana, aapne mere baare mein aisa kyun kaha? So I said, I'm sorry if that hurt you. And we let that matter be. Because when Arbaz came down to the basement, I was probably one of the only people who was talking to him. And I still maintain that he was never mean to me or rude to me. I have no idea what he's gone and said about me. But again, that's not on me. That's on him. And if Dhanashree thinks I'm pagal, then she should really go back and look at her head, because she should know who's that person. Because I have never labeled her, I've never called her anything on the show that I should have not said. That has not been observed by the entire world. And I went and genuinely spoke to her. And if she has gone and asked me कि आप basement में कैसे हैं, आपका खाना ठीक है, मैं जिंदा हूँ. The producers are fantastic on the show. They were absolutely fantastic. In fact, the one thing that I said to everybody when I left was that I have never worked on a reality show, and I had no idea how everybody has to put their personal lives on the back burner and be on the set. There are 300 people working round the clock for 15 people.
Yeah.
15 people. There are 300 people working round the clock for these 15 people. So the producers are absolutely fantastic on the show. Everything that I ever asked for, like in the basement, there was like, you know, there were times when I was not okay, and you know, and they would immediately, like, I'd be like, can you guys, because they would not send fruits, and Navratri was coming. And you know, the first thing that I said to the camera was like, guys, can you please send us some fruits? Navratri is coming. I fast during Navratri. And they were so nice. There was, and I love dragon fruit. So they sent a full dabba of dragon fruit for me. And they sent bananas for me. Things that hadn't come to the basement in 3 weeks. They were there within the second day of me asking politely. So I've always believed in my life of ask and you shall get.
Yes.
It's about how you ask and who do you ask. So, you know, I'm not taking the high road here or the high morale out here. I'm here to put my stance that if I've gone and said sorry to somebody, and if me and Bali can sort things out after that huge public spat, and if I can sort something out with an Arush, you know, who had nothing with me or nothing against me, and I absolutely love that boy. You know, if I've said something about Akriti, you know, because I did tell her, I said, you unnecessarily fight. And I did say that to her while nominating her. And she said, point taken. So I have nothing against these people, yeah. And I was meeting them for the first time. Who am I to judge them? In fact, I feel this whole younger lot has taken all this so much more well than this whole vile older people, you know, who were in the show.
That's true.
I mean, they were vile. They were not forgiving. They were just not like ready to listen to you. They were not accepting. In fact, today I have newfound, like, I have so much respect for Pawan Singh for coming and saying sorry to me. It was such a graceful exit.
Yeah.
He did not want to hold that back.
Absolutely.
And it also shows from the life that he's lived.
Yeah.
He's lived a very big life. He's not got like 1 or 2 fans. He's got millions of fans. For him to say sorry to me, did he really require, after all that happened? I thought for the life of me, I kept saying, I'm like, you do not like me. But he said, you know what, let's just put everything behind.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand why he didn't like me. For my language, because I speak this language, I can't play a character. No, I'm not Aditya Narayan who's come here to play a character on the show. I'm here to be myself. And the reason why I did the reality show was because I was, first of all, trying to get into a format that I've never tried.
Yeah.
I'm claustrophobic. I wanted to probably face my greatest fear of being able to live in a basement, not be able to see a sunlight for days. Because there were times when we were just not allowed to, like, even step out. You know, I would not know what time of the day it is. I would not know what day it is. I would not know. Whenever they would send lunch, okay, it's lunchtime. Whenever they would send dinner, I'm like, okay, it's dinner time. So, you know, there were so many things. It's a very hard space to live and survive. And honestly, if anybody has an opinion about me, it's on them. It's not on me. And they can label me for what they want. I'm not going to believe it.
Lastly, before we wrap this conversation, there's an important point that I want to discuss. I don't know if you know about it, but you and Arjun were quite close. You guys were friends, right? There was a conversation between Arbaz and Aditya where he spoke about the closeness between the two of you in a very weird manner, sort of like linking you guys up. Arjun is happily married, okay? You are his friend, college friend. And it was so funny to us because we know what, and this is just trash. These comments were trashy, but the way it happened, and it was showed obviously in the episode, it was a little bothersome to us also because we know कि ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. But he also went and commented on Dhanashree कि आप जाके सबको hug कर रहे हो. So Arbaz had a lot of issues with women hugging their friends, which was really annoying outside because we were like, ऐसा ही होता है ना real life में. You do hug your friends, so what? How do you react to that? Because this is just below the belt.
So Arjun is my teddy bear.
Yeah.
And I don't care about what the world thinks, honestly. And I'll tell you something quite honestly. People can see through fakeness.
Yes.
People can see through lies. The one thing that you can't lie is about lying. That's the beauty of lying. How much more can you lie? Ayan, his son, and my nephew, Arjun, are the same age.
Acha.
And Ayan and Arjun play a lot. And me and Neha are quite close, and me and Arjun are quite close. And, when I got out of the show, my parents were like, we want to meet Arjun. Because he stood by you
Yeah.
like a rock. Because when all those people were trashing you and saying those things to you, he was standing there. In fact, the first time I actually cried was when Arjun came up.
Exactly.
Because for me at that time, what my conversation with him was that I did that thing over the weekend. You think my parents watched it? Do you think I feel like they feel like I'm being bullied? And if I can't share, my greatest sorrow with a friend,
Of course.
why friends? I don't label a 1 week friendship as friendship. I look at friends when you know somebody for so many years, and that person stands by you. And I'm not crying and trying to get attention of like the audience. I've never publicly cried in the show.
True.
Never, not once. I don't think on stage, you never saw me crying. Nobody ever saw me getting vile on stage. I never did anything that was labeling people, making people look like trash. I'm fine. But, if my friend comes and hugs me and says, you know what, I'm there for you, then these people who are talking rubbish about me and my friend have no idea what friends are. And I'm sorry to them because I feel bad for them because they'll never have the joy of knowing what friends are.
That is so true.
They'll never have the joy because these people are so vile. And, they're such opportunists because they are making friends for opportunities. And I'm not that person. I'm such a fierce, loyal friend.
You are.
I think anybody who's a friend of mine, I'm saying this also, if you're my friend, you're really lucky. You're really lucky because I'll like scratch your face if you say anything about my friends and all. And my friendships are mostly female friendships.
Yes.
Most of my friends are women. And from school, from college, I've had so many women, in my life. I've actually had a lot of Stree Shakti in my life. And I think like everybody is a form of Kali and Durga and, everything that this country believes in worshipping. And I believe I'm a form of Durga and I can be Kali and I can be all sorts of matas when, it's required to be. And I don't need to prove it and I don't need to scream. And the one thing I've learned through this show is silence, even whispered, will be heard.
Absolutely.
Lies, even screamed, will be unheard. So I don't need to prove a point. Me and Arjun are fantastic friends. In fact, after the elimination, the next day I went and met Neha. I had lunch with her. I went and met Ayan. And Ayan was like, you are my favorite contestant. And I was like, okay. So I'm quite close to them.
Yeah.
And, I've told him, I said, bring that trophy back, brother.
Yeah, you
I'll
have
be
to.
there. We'll open the champagne together.
I have to tell you that as I started, real people really sometimes don't survive. And you were one of you and Arjun and Nayan, because you guys are truly playing how a reality show is to be played, because you guys were not playing.
And we brought some freshness to it.
Yes, you did.
I think everybody else is so stale and boring to watch because they are doing the exact same thing that has been done for the last 20 years on every reality show. I think this show was actually supposed to move away from that. And it was not supposed to be drab and dull and have the same format of like just fighting for no reason.
Yeah.
I think the show was about being able to use your brains in a certain way and being able to see through people. And I think we've successfully managed to see through a lot of people.
Yeah.
And everybody's seeing through them now that we've left.
But thank you so much for this conversation. I really hope we get to see you in a lot of more projects, films, shows, and hopefully not a reality show, because as you said, you're not meant for that.
No, I think I'm meant for like more stunt-based,
Yes,
dance-based,
yes,
more fun
yes.
stuff where I think I can be like in a place where I'm happy. So
Correct.
I feel that's where I am.
But thank you.
Thank
it was
you.
lovely speaking
I know,
with you.
likewise.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Aahana Kumra and you're watching me on FPJ Showbiz.